What's up, everybody? This is Ethan Ijunba. You are listening to EARMILK Chats. Today I'm joined with Arkansas-born duo known for their nostalgic pop sound that has amassed them over 200 million streams globally. Their next coming album, titled This Won't Last Forever, set to release on September 25th. So some of you guys might know them individually as Alan and Steven, but ladies and gents, this is Joan. How are you guys doing today?
What's up? What a great intro.
Yeah. I'll try. I've been practicing. Yeah.
I just gotta say, 200 million, that can't be true. That seems crazy.
That's right. No,
Listen.
don't
I mean,
like
it's
crazy.
been it for a good minute. You guys have done this for a while.
I mean, 200 million can't be true. It must be at least 500 million.
500, yeah. A billion. Who's counting?
Yeah.
All numbers lie. But
Right.
I know you guys have just released recent singles of Alibi, Lucid Dreaming, which has really set the tone for this new album you got titled This Won't Last Forever. Tell me about what came about with these singles, because one of them has a little bit more upbeat tempo to it. It doesn't have that strategic kind of like rhythmic, very slow and melodic style that you guys have normally been known for. But what was the change? What was the switch over? It feels like you guys have gotten a little bit more fast-paced tempo with your music, but what's been the process behind it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so just in general with the album, I think we had a period of time, probably like January to June of 2024, that we kind of just wrote every day as much as we could. Just we were just throwing stuff against the wall and seeing if anything would stick. And in that time frame, This Won't Last Forever, kind of the phrase, it kind of came to us through like writing a poem and just like thinking through life, and it just kind of kept sticking in our minds and kept coming back to us. And we just realized that was the album, and we were just like, this is the concept, this is the idea, this is what everything's working towards. And so yeah, like our normal MO is kind of just taking each song as it comes and just servicing the song how we feel like it needs to be serviced. But because we started with the title and kind of worked top down from that, it was a different process for us, because we wrote every song with that framework and with that idea in mind, and it made it interesting to fit into that. So, you know, as far as like being upbeat and kind of slower or whatever, like we feel like we found our own way, like still servicing each song, but each song kind of had a darkness to it, maybe that we haven't really tapped into much before. Even like songs that lyrically have kind of a hopefulness to it, still has like a overarching like impending doom feel to it. That was kind of what we wanted to convey anyway. And so yeah, I mean, that was kind of the goal with every song. It was just like, what's the juxtaposition we can bring where it's like, even on good days, you have this like kind of looming cloud of like what's going to happen kind of thing. So that was kind of the idea with every song written for this album.
What's the emotion like when you guys come up with this new style and this new direction that you guys go about? Because there's a lot of barrel of different things that you feel when you're trying to convey and trying to create something new, and then you finally get to it. Like some people have feelings of like doubt or worry, or even just a lot of, some people enjoy it the most, where it's like they enjoy the, I want to say pain for lack of better words, of like, because it's a little bit of pressure and stress when it comes down to just trying to figure out exactly like how I know what I want to do and I know what I want to hear, I just don't know how to do it yet. But what is it like for the emotions when it comes down to making these new sounds and going in this new direction for you guys?
I'll say this. I'm trying to remember who it was recently, but we were working with somebody and like someone else's production and in writing, and it was like, I noticed how like every single decision they made in their brains was like a big deal. And this may make our art sound cheaper than that, but I think we just have like this instinctual thing now, and probably just from like the many hours we've put into developing this whole thing, where we just like know when it's the right move, and it's less like if there is an emotion tied to it, I mean, for me, it's like joy. Like even if it's like a sad lyric and a sad thing, the feeling I get when it's like you just know that that melody over that chord or that drum sound or that whatever is the right thing, the right step forward for that song. It's like the best feeling in the world. And it's the same feeling I get when we're on stage and you see people singing your songs back to you. Like it's that same, for me, it's like it itches the same part, or scratch the same part of my brain. So I think it's interesting because we're always like chasing the like your arm hairs standing up, goosebumps thing. If I feel it in our songs, then it's like, okay, someone else hopefully will feel that as well. And so we're always like chasing that thing. And for me, like I guess joy would be, even though it's maybe contrarian to the vibe of the song, whatever particular song, if it's like a more melancholy song, I'm still like looking for that joy in it and the joy of making it. And I don't know, it's like it's an instinct thing at this point of we're just pretty confident in our process. So I find that I'm really joyful in it more than any. I used to actually, you mentioned the word stress or worry in it. Like I used to feel that way a lot. Felt like a pressure. It was like, took me a while to realize most of that pressure was self-placed and unnecessary. Like I was just like, it's like so fun that we get to do this for a living. And this is like our career and our hobby and our passion. And it's like all these things wrapped into one. It's like, I should enjoy this. This is not a stressful thing to do. There's stressful things about
there's
it. But
plenty of there's plenty of
the stress is
to be
never
had
gone.
with like with releasing an album or promotion or just thinking through like, oh, how am I going to pay rent this month or whatever. Like there's too much stress going around already. Like it's the studio for us is we have to make it a sacred place where it's like when we're in here we are working, we're not taking advantage of our time, and what comes out of here has to be good and presentable. And if we're in here working and hating the process and stressed about the process and all that stuff, that's going to show in the music. And so we make it a priority to try our best to enjoy the process, and I think that shows in the outcome too.
we both have bumper stickers on our cars that says "Enjoy the ride." I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's not true.
That's not true. We don't have cars.
Yeah, we don't.
Cars. Just bikes. You just guys goes from point A to point B.
Yeah,
Bicycle
that's
style.
right.
Yeah, mopeds.
Yep.
And then when it comes down for you guys, you said for yourself, there's stress, there's joy, there's a lot of different emotions that you guys have felt throughout when it comes down to creating your music. But when it comes down to working with others, I know you guys have done some work with McKenna Grace, you've done some works with Noah. You guys have you've got this K-pop group you just did a recent collaboration with. What is it like when you now get in the studio with somebody else and you're either you're working with them by writing the song and creating the production aspect of it? Like, do you still find that same feelings or similar emotions, but because you're sharing it with another person? Because now it's not just you looking at how you want it to sound, but it's also how they want it to sound. So you have a little bit more collaboration outside more than just you two. Well, what's it like when you guys work with other people on the outside of what it is for just you two?
It's been really fun. You're right. You add the extra person in the room or on the Zoom or whatever remote, like, yeah, you're not just appeasing. Like we pretty much have like a synchronicity thing going on where it's like, if I'm not feeling something, I can already tell Steven's probably not going to feel it too. Like we kind of know each other's tastes on stuff.
Just give each other the look, or just like,
yeah, well, it'll just be like, he can tell if I'm like looping a guitar part for an hour and I'm like just getting frustrated, then I'm about to press pause because I'm going to throw my guitar into my screen. I just like, it's time to move on. Like, let's move. Like, we just kind of have this, like, we both know. And there's sometimes where he's like, no, that's sick. Like, keep doing that. I'm like, okay, but when you add another person in it and it's for their project, there's a different pressure on it of like, you just want them to love it the same way you love your stuff. And ultimately they have the say, like in the end, like you can't pressure them into like, no, this is the right move to make because it's their career, it's their voice on it and all that. But luckily so far, we haven't hit any major walls with any artists outside of Joan that we've worked with, even if it's like us not featuring on it. If we're featuring on it, we have a little bit more say in it because we can go like, well, our stamp's on it too. Like we need to love this as well.
Of course.
If it's like McKenna's song, it was a really easy process with her writing that song. Like she had a vision for the song. We had an idea that we threw to her. That was a start. She liked it. We had a song in like a couple of hours. Like it was not it was on Zoom. And then it was just like pretty easy. And so I think like we take the same sacredness that we have here and the same process we have here and just kind of invite others into it. And so far, fingers crossed, we haven't had any like, big not fallouts, but like big hurdles with anyone.
Compromises.
Yeah,
sarcastic
whatever.
tones have been used in the room. No one's
Right. Yeah.
no
Well,
one's sensing any kind of tension at all in the studios with you
Totally.
guys.
Well, and it's interesting too. I think it's helped us figure out what Joan songs are. Like, we write for with K-pop in mind, or we write with other people, and we write, for a bunch of different kind of things. And I think it helps us hone in on like, okay, this is actually what we want Joan to sound like, or this is not a Joan song. This is someone else's song, and then like it kind of helps us give freedom to songs that maybe we would feel like need to be a Jones song or something because we didn't have camps to put them in before. So it's helped us hone in a lot too, I think, which is cool.
And then speaking on that, when it comes down to how your music is now being exactly what you want it to be, just to kind of trace it back to the album that you have for This Won't Last Forever, what exactly did stem the inspiration for this one? Because from what it seems like, it's a lot different than your previous album that you guys had before with Superglue and everything. But now with how this one's going, with how you said it has like over that dark cloud looming over, it kind of focuses more on that, like, hey, just because it is a joyful moment, there is still sadness that lingers over you. What exactly inspired you guys to take this direction, though, nonetheless, when it came down to how you wanted to make it sound like this? What really just opened your eyes to think like, hey, even though it is a good day, still worried that tomorrow might be the day I die, even if something like that. Like, it's always that possibility of something bad is still there. It's never really gone, but let's still enjoy and appreciate whatever sunshine we have.
Yeah. So I wrote a poem like probably, I think it was early 2024. And it was just in this time in my life where like we both have two kids. My second kid had like a, what was tagged as a high risk pregnancy whenever we were pregnant with him. And it was this period in my life where I felt like even on the best days that I had, there was this like some sort of looming cloud, what is the best thing that I can kind of describe it as, where it was just like I remember like walking in our neighborhood one day, and it was like the most beautiful day. It was with family, and we were just having a really great day. And I couldn't even like let myself enjoy it really because I couldn't get out of my head like this sort of potential future of, just, I don't know, just looming disaster of sorts or whatever. And it just helped me kind of, writing that poem helped me reframe my mind, where it was like, you have to take each day as it comes. You have to take each moment as it comes, because it literally won't last forever. And like good times will not last. Bad times will not last. Like there's just so many different iterations of it. Like I know Alan's had plenty of that too. And it was just like, it was like this common ground that we just like clicked with, where I was just like, yeah, I mean, like some days it literally feels like days are too good to be true and something bad must be coming because it's too good right now. And then some days feel terrible, and both of those days you have to remind yourself that it won't last forever. And so it feels a little bit over, just like over my head sometimes, and also sometimes it feels elementary, and I love that about the concept. It's just like it's a very simple phrase that is a good reminder. And that was the inspiration for the album. It just like really gave us a framework for writing songs for it.
No, it's amazing. I think that the way you can take such a personal and relatable topic such as that, because what I'm assuming now, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of this album I can assume has a lot of reflection from fears, pressures, worries, but also it is momentous, joyous occasions that are also good. Like you're going to have good moments, and like you said, you're going to have bad moments, but nonetheless, it won't stay there. There's nothing stagnant. There's nothing that's just going to go. Like having a good year now is not going to mean you're going to have a good year the next year. There might be something that happens that makes it quote unquote a bad year, but the bad year will end after the following next. So it's almost just like, hey, just don't stay stuck into what it was, but don't also get so optimistic that it'll always be like this. Sounds like is what I'm taking away from it.
Yeah. I mean, don't take anything for granted. Hold the people you love closer.
Yeah.
We get to make music and AI is happening right now. It's like, who knows what in 10
As we
years
speak.
if we'll even be able to make music, or if all the robots will just be playing guitar.
Next interview, we're gonna be talking to a virtual Ethan and an AI version.
But it's like
Got me.
it's crazy to think though, because it's literally just like, even like that, it's like it just makes your days heavier in a really good way. Like it, and, you know, it's just like I'm very thankful that we get to play music, and I'm very thankful for the good things in my life, and so it just like has more weight to it in a great way.
Well, for what it's worth, and to kind of transition and switch topics on, the one thing that AI will never replace, I think, is concerts. I don't think anyone will ever say, I want to pay to see. I mean, unless you're like a Tupac hologram, that's probably the closest thing I've seen anybody really.
That'd be sick.
I'd go to that.
Yeah, then it's that. But
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's truly going to say, like, oh, I want to see an AI generated version of Joan or Sabrina Carpenter or Chapel Roan. I think they're only going to really, that's going to be the true human element. They may not, there's going to be a lot of people that are be like, oh, I don't care how the music was made, but I just know it sounds good. Like, it's almost the same thing as people are like, I don't care who, unless you're like a nerd like me who's like, I don't care who wrote the song as long as it's my favorite lyrics. Now, me personally, I'm just like, I'm always looking at the credits like a music snob that I shouldn't be.
Same.
But when it comes down to, though, for you guys for performing this album and all the performances you guys have wrapped up based on your tours, what was it like this past recent tour from everything that you guys got to perform, and how do you feel about getting ready to perform this one when the time comes, when that overall just goes into being when you guys start touring again?
Yeah. So the last couple of tours we did, late last fall, you know, we were on tour with Mr. Wives for a full US, and then we did Australia with the Maine, which was great. First time in that territory. And then we just did this block party support run, which was awesome. Played the biggest rooms we've ever played. Forest Hill Stadium, the Fenway, whatever it's called, Boston at
MGM Finley.
MJ.
Yep.
Big rooms, and just got a little spoiled with that. That's one note. But it's really cool to play some of these songs. You know, some like Heart, Body, Mind, Soul live goes very differently than it does on the track, in that that's like programmed drums, like it's all like samples and loops that we crafted, but then like putting it to a real kit, and I'm playing like electric live on it, which I don't do much on the actual song. Really, really fun, and that's probably the most nervous I get is in the Joan job is right before tours, like figuring out everything for that, just because there's a lot of moving parts with like live tracks, and if it's our tour and we're gonna have program like lighting programming or like video, and like you have to figure all that stuff out far in advance, and then there's rehearsals, and there's like so many like gears.
And people just think you guys just go out there, start playing instruments, and go. But it's like, no, there's a whole production.
Everyone like all these things have to go on all at once, and enough time to prep for the first rehearsal, because you need all that like figured out for the most part. So that gets stressful. But then like once you figure out playing the new songs live, that's such a like payoff. When you like get done rehearsing it for the first time, you're like, okay, this song works live. You know, it's like you don't really know till you try it. And we've had tours where like we'll have a song and okay, we're gonna try. Well, this last tour, we there's a song on the album called Supernatural that we were gonna try to throw in kind of last minute, I think, in a rehearsal. And we tried it one morning, and I was like, guys, that A, didn't go very great, and B, we don't really have enough time to make it go great versus like the rest of the stuff we needed to figure out.
Yeah, it's almost like let's just stick to the script kind of thing.
Yeah, and you know, next time around for our next tour, we'll probably play that one live and figure it out, but we'll build in the time.
What was really cool too, we did this tour like right before the block party tour in May, and it was like five shows.
Yeah, Close
something
Friends.
Like that. Called the Close Friends Tour, and basically it was just like we wanted to workshop the album as we were finishing it. We wanted to like do small sweaty shows just in dive bars, and just basically play an extended set for people that we kind of started with, just to kind of go back to our roots a little bit. And so we did like 2 hours worth of music. We didn't have openers, we didn't have productions. We literally just like we played almost all the album songs before they were released, and we also played songs we haven't played in years. Just because we've been lucky to be a band for a long time, and we always have to either play new music or play music that is the most popular of for us or whatever. And so it was nice to kind of have a few shows where we could just like not have any pressure on it and just kind of play. And those were really great. Like it was really great to see immediate reactions to songs on the album that weren't released at all, and like right away we saw people like connecting with them and which ones really hit people in different ways and stuff. And I don't know, it was really cool, and it makes me really excited to play them live once they're actually out, because if they were kind of if they were able to be connected with before they were even released, that's always a good sign for whenever they are released and out and people can connect with them then. So,
And appreciate you guys for coming on. It was a great pleasure speaking to you both. Thank you guys for just being here for EARMILK Chats. I appreciate you guys having the conversation.